This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Right now, your phone is quietly holding more to-dos and appointments than most paper planners did in an entire year. Yet your brain is still trying to remember everything. You're checking 3 apps, 5 tabs, and still feeling behind. Why is all this help making life feel noisier? Here's the twist. The problem usually isn't that you're using digital tools, it's that they're using you. Notifications yank your attention, apps compete for your focus, and everything feels urgent because everything is glowing on a screen. Meanwhile, your brain is trying to juggle long-term goals, tiny errands, and half-finished ideas all at once. In this episode, we'll zoom out and treat your tools less like random apps and more like a simple system. One place that tells you what needs doing, one place that tells you when, and one place that holds what you're thinking about. We'll look at how students, busy parents, and remote workers set this up in real life, how syncing across devices can quietly lower your stress, and how to avoid turning productivity into just another digital chore. So instead of asking, which app is best, a better question is, what job do I need this tool to do for me today? That's where digital calendars, task managers, and note apps quietly separate into different roles. A calendar protects your time, a task list shapes your effort, and notes hold the raw material of your ideas. Some people keep all 3 inside one ecosystem like Google or Apple. Others mix and match services the way a chef chooses separate knives for different cuts. The point isn't matching someone else's setup, but choosing the smallest combo that actually fits your current life. Think of this episode as giving those 3 core tools, calendar, tasks, and notes, clear job descriptions so they stop tripping over each other. Start with your task manager. Its job is to answer, what should I move forward next? Not what exists in my life. That means keeping it painfully specific and current. Email landlord about lease is in. Housing is out. When everything is bite-sized, your brain spends less time negotiating and more time doing. Many people find it useful to tag tasks with just 2 dimensions: where, home, school, laptop, phone, and energy, low, medium, high. Stuck in a waiting room with only your phone and half a brain? Filter for phone plus low and pick one. Next, give your Notes app a different mission. Where do I put this so future me can actually find and use it? Instead of one giant scroll of randomness, create a few broad buckets: school or work, personal life, and reference. Within those, short, titled notes beat epic documents. A recipe? 1 note. Meeting? 1 note with the date at the top. Class idea? 1 note tagged with the course. Search works best when you feed it clear labels. The magic happens when these tools talk to each other without becoming a blur. A simple rule set helps. From calendar to tasks, any event that requires prep gets at least 1 task. Draft slides for Thursday meeting. From tasks to calendar, anything that takes more than 30 minutes gets an actual block of time. From notes to tasks, whenever you capture ideas, quickly pull out 1 to 2 actions before you forget. From tasks to notes, if a task will generate info you'll want later, link or create a note before you start. This is where integrated ecosystems help. Add a task from an email, drop a calendar link into a note, or pin a note to a specific date. You're not chasing details, they surface where you're already looking. And yes, AI features can assist. Smart suggestions, auto-categorizing notes, or flagging clashing commitments. Useful as long as you stay the boss. Let the machine propose, you decide. Picture a shared apartment kitchen. One roommate handles groceries, another cooks, a third cleans. When everyone respects their role, dinner happens with surprisingly little chaos. Digital tools can work the same way, especially when you're not living or working alone. Take a group project, a shared task board, Trello, Asana, or even a shared list in Apple Reminders, lets everyone see who's on what, instead of digging through group chats. Attach files or links directly to each task so nobody has to ask, where's the latest version? For notes, think beyond solo brainstorming. A shared notebook in OneNote or Google Docs can track decisions, not just ideas. Mark what was agreed, by whom, and when. That running history quietly prevents "didn't we already discuss this" loops. And when life spans several roles, student, job, caregiving, you can create zones in your tools. One calendar color per role, one tag per major responsibility, so context shifts with a glance instead of a mental gear grind. Your future setup might feel less like using apps and more like living inside a responsive environment. As context-aware tools mature, your routines could quietly adjust themselves. Routes shift when trains are delayed. Study blocks slide when a supervisor adds a last-minute shift. Shared plans update like a live spreadsheet. The real skill won't be tapping faster. It'll be deciding which parts of your day should be rigid scaffolding and which should flex like elastic. When you treat these apps as teammates instead of bosses, they become more like scaffolding around a building you're still designing. You can swap out pieces as your life shifts. New job, new semester, new city, without knocking everything down. Keep experimenting with smaller tweaks, like a scientist running gentle trials, and let your system evolve with you. Before next week, ask yourself, 1. If I only kept 3 digital tools from what I'm using now, calendar, task manager, notes app, cloud storage, etc., which would actually make my days smoother, and what could I delete or turn off today to reduce noise? 2. Looking at next week in my digital calendar, where can I add 2 or 3 time blocks for focused work, and what specific notifications or apps will I silence during those blocks so they actually stick? 3. When I open my notes or task app tonight, what's one real project, like planning a trip, managing finances, or a work deadline, I can fully set up with clear steps, due dates, and reminders so that it truly lives in my digital system instead of in my head. This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!